Hello everyone, it's Stephen and this is Milestone 2 and we're talking about the first task. Up on my screen I have some of the instruction for this task, and what I've done in the overview is I've modified things a bit. I put in a strong suggestion, and it is the strongest I can make it, to please view the video that I created on how to use templates. It is really important that you use templates properly. It'll just take 5 minutes to watch this, and it's important. Okay, so there are several templates to create this particular assignment, and I have changed some of the ones to make it a little clearer. I have provided an invoice template, which you will download and fill in so that you'll create an invoice for a job that you would typically do. Your own price list, if you have a price list already, you're certainly welcome to use that, or if there's a template that you prefer. But if you don't have one, I have created a template that you are welcome to use. The school has provided a startup capital template, which you will download as well. Again, please watch the video first so you see how to create these templates. So now let's look at the example that I've posted to see how to actually do the task. I'll open up the link, and the first thing I did was a price comparison. I looked up 3 competitors. It's easy enough to find who I would compete with, and I came up with 3 from the internet. Okay, so the question is, what do you do if you can't find prices in your area from other photographers? This can happen especially in rural areas where there aren't a lot of choices on the internet. So go to asmp.org. ASMP is the premier organization for commercial photographers, also editorial photographers, and for many consumer photographers, which would include portrait and wedding photographers. PP of A is also worth looking at. We'll discuss that later on. But for now, go to asmp.org, go to their Find a Photographer feature, click on that, and you can put in your genre, what your area is, and you will find a lot of good photographers, several of whom should post prices. If you're having a hard time because you live in a very rural area, choose the nearest larger city and until you finally are successful at what you need. The next thing I did was post my price list. And remember, again, using templates to watch that video so that you remember to remove instructions, customize it, make it look like your own, and don't make it obvious that it's cut and paste. So here's a price list I came up with, largely based on seeing what my competitors are doing and getting an idea of what I'd like to offer and how much is reasonable to me. I then provided the comparison. What were the things that other people offered and what would I actually be able to find as my strong points that I could compete? Next is an invoice for a typical job I would do. You, of course, make this up. Try to customize it, make it look like yours. The startup capital template will really take some time. It's important. What I did was, again, I largely made this up, the figures here. Do I actually spend $250 a month on food? This is just an estimate of things. And remember that this should be consistent. So this is all monthly. So don't throw in an annual figure. You would divide that by 12. So it's all monthly. Next, I have the income to offset this. I'm saying that my expenses are $34.25 a month. I put in that I have $34.50 in income. Now, if you have income other than your photography business, you would list it here, but you do not need to specify. I don't want to know if it's child support or if it's alimony or if it's your disability payment or your trust fund. That's your business. You just put in the amount. And again, you can make that figure up if you like. The whole idea is for you to learn how to do this so that when you're ready to actually use actual figures, you'll understand how. Now, when I subtract my expenses from this, I don't have any salary that I require in order to break even. So I put net salary required of 0. You don't put a negative figure. If it turned out that, let's say, I had 2450, I would need almost $1,000. I think it would be 975. I would put that here, and then I would carry that down to this section, salaries. I would need 975 added to the business overhead. The business would need to bring that in every month in order for me to break even. I estimated my other business expenses. Don't forget things like software, and you will need to do marketing and advertising. This is an absolute minimum. I think I could get away with that. You may or may not be able to. Ultimately, after taking my monthly, I then need to multiply that by 12 to get my total annual. So it's my monthly times 12. I have an annual expense of 9,300. If I did 75 projects a year, and by the way, don't put in that you're going to do 200 projects a year to start out because it's unrealistic. Most starting businesses do 50 to 75 as a really worthy goal. If I did 75, I would need to make $124 for each project in order to break even. So this gives me some good solid information. I would additionally want to put in another $4,500 roughly in order to get myself started. And then I'd have an explanation of how I came up with things. And that's my project. It's time consuming. It's not easy. Be sure to contact me if you have questions. But I think when you do this, you'll feel great about your prospects, about yourself, and it's really an accomplishment. Good luck with it.